Hello and welcome to Camper. In this video I'm going to show you the commissioning assistant for the Hygiene Flushbox Pro. In this wall we have installed two Hygiene flush boxes, one on top and one below. The one on top is shown as it comes in the box when it has been delivered, and at the bottom the cover is turned and it's tiled so that it fits perfectly into the tiled wall. Now we want to open the front Hygiene Flushbox Pro, and we need a screwdriver for that. At first we need to push the magnetic push button in the middle to release it, and on the left here's a latch that prevents that the cover is falling out. Therefore we take the screwdriver, press the latch, and then we can take out the cover. Before we start commissioning, we have to check if all points from chapter 2.4 of the installation manual have been completed. That means the water connection should be there and water should be available. The drain connection should be completed. All electrics should be completed, and our solenoid valve and the aerator set should also be installed. If that is all done, we can start commissioning. Now we are putting electricity to the controller, and the controller is then performing a test for the LED lights. When all lights turn green, we have a green status light and a green light on valve number 1 and valve number 2. And now we can start the commissioning assistant. To connect to the Hygiene Flushbox Pro, it is equipped with a wireless network. To activate the network, we have to press this button for 5 seconds. Immediately the status LED starts to flash white, and after 5 seconds we hear the acknowledgement sound. Now the wireless network is active, what you can see at the status LED, which is now flashing green. Now we can connect to the Hygiene Flushbox Pro with any smart device. To connect to the Hygiene Flushbox, I'm using a laptop in this case. Therefore, I select the wireless settings and select the wireless connection of the Camper KHS Pro with the serial number 008812. And then I connect. This can take a while, and it can open the browser automatically. If it does not connect automatically, then please start your browser manual. When you open the browser, it can lead you directly to the start page of the installation commissioning assistant. If it does not start automatically, please insert the IP number 192.168.4.1. To log on to the Hygiene Flushbox Pro, the default password is 0000. I confirm on the gray button. To now change the language, because in default setting the language is preset in German, we need to press the button Assistenten überspringen on the gray button. I go to the settings, Einstellungen, and I change the language, Sprache, to English. Scroll down and save, speichern. Now we have changed the language to English, and we can start with the commissioning assistant. This is found in the menu Assistance. On top left we find the commissioning wizard, and we select this menu. Now we are starting the commissioning wizard. As soon as we have started the commissioning wizard, the status LED of the Hygiene Flushbox is flashing blue. The basic settings are the device name, which we can change here right now, but for this video I leave it as it is. We can automatically set the clock by ticking this box, and then the time and date of your smart device will be copied to the hygiene flushing box automatically. We have selected the language before to be in English. Then we press continue. The next point is the configuration of the sensors and actuators. It shows you what sensors and actors are connected to the valve number 1 and valve number 2. In our situation, we have a solenoid valve, a flow meter, and an internal temperature sensor for both flushing points for valve number 1 and for valve number 2. If this confirms to your real installation, you can press continue. Now all LEDs on the hygiene flush box are flashing white. If that's the case, please press continue. Now we can hear the alarm of the hygiene flush box. If that's the case, we can confirm. Now we are checking the overflow sensor. To do so, we are removing the cover of the siphon and the metal sheet underneath it. Now we are lifting the float switch shortly and release it again. After that, we can press continue. Now we need to open the maintenance stop valve, but in our scenario they are already open. If they are indicating to the top, they are in open position. We can confirm by pressing continue. We are now putting the trap grid back into position and press continue. Now a 10-second test flush is activated, which is indicated by the blue LEDs for valve number 1 and valve number 2. When the test flush is processed, is finished, we take the cover and put it back onto the siphon. We confirm with continue. The following flows were detected during the test flush. Please confirm the selection or change it on the installed flow limiters. So now we can check the detected flow rate of valve number 1 and valve number 2, and what flow limiters are installed in both flush points. We can continue by pressing the green button. In this point we have to check if we are flushing cold water or hot water and have to change the presetting if required. In our example, we have cold water connected to both valves, to valve number 1 and to valve number 2. If that's correct, we press continue. The next point is to select the operating modes. Here we see that we have an interval flush, and the flush interval is preset to be at 48 hours, which means every second day. The duration for the flush of valve number 1 is preset to be 5 minutes. Here we can change the presetting to be, for example, every 72 hours, which is every third day. And the duration should be not 5 minutes, it should be 3 minutes. The operating mode for valve number 2 can also be changed. Here we have an interval flush. We preset this also to 72 hours, and the duration should be 3 minutes. When we have preset the interval duration and the flush duration, we press continue. Now the commissioning was completed successfully, and we can download the Handover log file here on the download button. We are going to save the file to, for example, our desktop. When the commissioning visit is completed, the hygiene flush switches to automatic mode. So we can confirm the end of the commissioning here. When we have closed the commissioning assistant, we are automatically getting into the overview mode of the hygiene flush box, where we can see the temperature and the flow rate at both valves, valve number 1 and valve number 2. Additionally, in this overview, we have a yellow question mark on the top right corner of the window. If we press this question, we always get an extra window with a short help to the current menu that we are using. Also, we can add or change the operating modes of the valves number 1 and valve number 2 if required. When you have done this, you're going back into the overview and log out to finish the commissioning. When you're logging out, this is the time where we are disconnected from the wireless network from the Hygiene flush box, and all 3 green lights are not flashing, they are lit up. After finalizing the commissioning wizard, we now just close the Hygiene flush box with the cover. Therefore, we take the cover, take care that the notches are in the position in the holes of the frame. We push it to the magnetic push button, and we use a screwdriver to push down this latch and reinsert the cover. That's all you need to do for commissioning.